Good morning. Welcome to Wednesday morning's healing class, self-healing class. We'll begin with the gentle warm-up exercises, as we often do. If you've just come along for the meditation, then move forwards about 10 minutes in the video and you'll find us moving into some meditation. But I do believe the movement, albeit very simple and gentle, is quite an important part of this healing process. It's important, I think, to keep the chi moving through the body, or to start the chi moving in the body. So stand with feet shoulder width apart, a nice generous wide stance, wider than your hips. Knees are gently bent, back is nice and straight. And we're just going to turn from the core of the body. So there's always this instruction, draw mind back inside. And the implication of this is all of the things in your outside world drawn back in through yin tang, deep into your upper dantian, and then just allowing everything just to settle back down, sink back down, and arrive back down in your belly. So we settle our minds into lower dantian, really bring ourselves back into our bodies. And then from here, we can start our gentle movement. So turning the waist to one side, just looking back over the shoulder, and then to the front, to the other side, and then to the front. You can do the same again, just to check out the spine, see how everything feels. And then just release the spine, allow it to turn more freely. Allow the hands and shoulders to relax, arms to gently tap onto the side of the body. Just feel that little thump of the wrist tapping against the small of the back. Little thump as your forearm taps onto the belly button. We just send this lovely little vibration, drum vibration through our bellies. So the idea is that whilst you sleep, your chi slows down and it starts to gather in the large muscles, such as your thighs and the back of your arms. It just kind of pools there. And so just starting off the morning with this exercise gets the chi flowing around your body, gets you energized. Just let the chi start to flow around your body each morning by doing this simple warm-up set. I've been reading a lot. I'm just reading a book at the moment which talks about genes and especially mirror neurons, section I'm on at the moment, which is something that really interests me. And the substance of the story is about, we abbreviate in English to monkey see, monkey do. I think that describes the mirror neurons really well. Monkey see, monkey do. And so it's about us. It's about us believing that we are able to achieve things. And as quite a few of you know, I'm at the moment working on a little documentary to tell people more about 𝐬𝐤𝐥𝐿. And so I just had a visit in Spain. I caught up with a couple there, German couple, and essentially the stories that were reported about this lady in 2017, 2018, she went on retreat with my Chinese teachers. But reportedly, she was like a zombie, and there were occasions where she couldn't even recognize her husband. She tells this story about sitting in a restaurant in Lake Garda and actually not knowing why she was there or who she was sitting with and having a complete meltdown because she didn't even recognize her husband. She had no idea who he was. And she said it wasn't always like that, but you know, the most simple things in her life, just adding up numbers, working with spreadsheets, you know, very simple things that had been the meat and drink of her everyday working life, just became more and more difficult for her to do. And slowly, she started to slip into dementia. Now then, actually, I think foolishly, I forgot to ask her age, actually. I must check that out. But, you know, she's a very young looking person. She's in her, I suppose, early 70s, I would say. But she was diagnosed with frontototal dementia. So this is dementia of the frontal lobe. And it's basically a very quick onset type of dementia that also is very, very aggressive. And so her memory started to slip, and then she started to forget who she was and who her husband was. And shortly after that, she was reported as being a bit like a zombie, wandering around, not knowing what to do, who to speak to, you know, totally lost at these retreats. So she started doing her qigong with her husband. He just kept working away with it. And after day 3 of the retreat, people were saying to her, "Oh, you're starting to look better." And by the time they'd finished the retreat, which was, I think, 3 weeks, she had sort of come back to herself. And the story is that within 5 months, the doctor had signed her off and she was able to go back to work. And the normal progression for this is to spend about maximum a year at home, but things become very, very difficult. And then, you know, probably 6 months deterioration in a hospice, and then you die. And it's that aggressive. And so this lady has gone from this apparent death sentence to, I mean, when I met her, she was just full of beans. She's a very live wire. And they are currently traveling around Europe in their camper van, going camping and doing things. And they're building up for a trip to New Zealand, trip of a lifetime to New Zealand. And then when they get back from that, they're going to drive to South Africa in their overland vehicle. And this is the new lease of life that's occurred for this lady. She's just suddenly, yeah, fantastic again. And so entertaining and so interesting. And that was it. She said to me that, you know, the first time that I really knew that I was healing was when I read a book, you know, through to the end. And I really enjoyed it. And I suddenly realized that I had an interest in life and I had an interest in things again. So it's really, really lovely. Such a nice story. I guess the thing I was talking about, the monkey see, monkey do, is about the fact that, you know, when we see people on their healing journey and we see them successful in their healing journey, then it's that much easier for us to actually think, oh, I could do that. And so this is the point about, obviously, what I'm doing in this documentary, is to try and expose as many healing stories as I can. The lady who I met in China, you may have seen my trailer on my website, who cured her 2 cancers, one either side of her thyroid. That's also really quite inspiring story. Really quite enjoyed that. Another lady who I'm going to speak to, who's cured herself of breast cancer recently. And yeah, there's people on this call who've cured themselves. And the more that we spread these stories, the more people can see this, and the more people can think, I can do that. And so if your mental state's feeling fragile today, don't worry. There's always Qigong. A little bit of Qigong can help you. Okay, so let's just drift this exercise to a slow stop. Just come, relax. Let's just gather some Qi. So if we lift Qi up and pour Qi down, that just brings us back into a little bit of balance. Gather and lift. And pour. Lift and gather. Gently pour. Okay, draw the Qi down through. Draw the Qi deep inside. Focus the Qi into your belly. These exercises are about bringing ourselves back into balance. So sometimes when we do the turning exercises, it can set off a flow of qi. And often the reaction of qi is to move upwards in the body. And that can make you feel really quite dizzy. Sometimes it can move downwards as well. And that can make you feel, almost like passing out. So both of those are, potentials when we start doing qigong to have these extra kind of flows of qi that we're not used to. And so this exercise, if you feel dizzy, it brings you back to yourself. It draws you back and brings all the energy back into the belly. So, the reason we start with this turning exercise is because this is turning the belly, getting this central area, which is so crucial in Qigong, getting the central area to move, but also bringing all the Qi back to the central area. So the next thing we're going to do is our forward and back bends, and that's just going to release our spine. Obviously, we release the spine in this direction. Now we're going to release the spine for a simple forward and back bend. So just take the hands up into the air as we've just done with the lift. This time, we're just going to take over the arms and the ears. So the spine stays straight, and then you just tip over the arm and the ears, which that sort of bends the nape of your neck. When the arms are parallel to the floor, then we can start to bend the upper back, the middle back, and the lower back. And just let the body hang and relax down. Take all the weight off the back of the neck. Just let the body hang and relax there. Nice and easy. Okay, great. So let's take our first extension and just stretch gently down towards the toes. And then release. In line with the roots of the toes. And release. In line with the insteps of your feet, just stretching back gently deeper each time. And release. And then in line with the heels, just as deep as you wish to go. Good. Let the body relax and hang there. Okay, so lift the tailbone up behind, push the tailbone gently towards the front of the body, start to roll the spine up and then bring up the head and the arms and the ears, stretch up into the blue sky. Let the knees and the hips drift softly forwards. You can easily lean back and up and gently back, up, gently back, up, and gently back. Hands up in the blue sky. So coordinating the arms and the ears, but not pressing the arms against the ears. We turn the head over, neck over, and we work into the upper back, and we work into the middle back, and we work into the lower back. Allow the knees to be soft for this one. Just let the body relax here. Tuck the tummy in and release the back of the neck as much as you can. Extend softly down towards the toes and release. In line with the roots of the toes and release. In line with the insteps and release. And head back towards the heels. Great. Body hangs and relaxes. Point the tailbone up behind and then swing the tailbone to the front of the body. Start to assemble the spine, and then the arms and the ears come up together. And then we draw up, stretch up. Blue sky chi. Drift the knees and the hips forward, and you can softly lean backwards and up. Gently backwards. Stretch up. Gently back. Up. Gently back. Okay, hands up in the blue sky. Let's do these with straight legs if we can. Make your legs nice and straight. Tip over the arms and ears. Move into the upper back, into the middle back, into the lower back. Nice straight legs. Tuck the tummy gently in. Okay, so with the straight legs, you may not go down as far as you normally do, but that's just fine, just wherever you naturally get to. And then we again stretch gently towards the toes. Feel the hamstrings open a little bit and release in line with the roots of our toes. And release in line with our insteps. And release. Head gently back towards the heels. Good. And then relax and release.
Lift the tailbone up behind, push the tailbone towards the front of the body, start to roll the spine up, bring up the head, the arms and the ears. Gently stretch up, stretch up, stretch up. Release knees and hips forward. You can softly lean backwards and up, gently backwards. Stretch up, back, and up, back. Stretch up. Last time. Legs nice and straight. Arms and ears tipping over. Going to the upper back, middle back, and lower back. Let the body just hang and relax there for a few moments. Okay. Stretching towards the toes. And then release. In line with the roots of our toes. And release. Toward our instep. And release. Back toward the heels. Deep bend. Relax and release. Let the body hang. Tailbone lifts up behind. Tailbone pushes gently to the front. Spine rolls up. Head, arms, and ears come up as one, as if you're lifting a heavy weight up. Stretch up, stretch up. Blue sky, chi. Knees and hips drift forward. You can softly lean backward. And up, back, up, back, up, and gently back. Hands up in the blue sky. Just draw the hands over the crown of the head. Allow the chi to gently pour through your body. Release the hands down the sides in a great wide arc. As your hands come down, the chi levels settle inside your body as well. We drift the hands down. Chi settles down. Let's gather chi a few more times. As you remember, this is about settling and calming. If you already feel calm, that's fine. You can just let your hands drift like a summer breeze. If you definitely feel dizzy, you can really put much more intention behind the exercise. So what really varies is the kind of mind activity. If you just feel calm and relaxed, your hands can just gently drift and the chi just gently moves through the body. If you suddenly feel very dizzy, you can really put your mind to it. You can think, gosh, I'm going to really grab this chi and I'm really going to push it through my body and I'm going to really bring myself back to balance. Be very kind of serious, focused, make sure all the chi moves back to your belly. So there's this idea of intention that's so important. And our intention here is just to drift through our exercises, unless something else is required, of course. Okay, so let's do our side bends. Lift up your right hand, breathe in. Gently drift across to the left-hand side. Feel the whole right of your body open. Breathe in, raise up your right hand. Switch the hands over. Breathe up on the left. And exhale across to the right. The whole left side of your body open. Breathe in, lift up. Exhale, swap the hands over. Breathe in, stretch up. And move across to your left side. Breathe in, lift up. Exhale, swap the hands over. Breathe in, stretch up. And head across to the right. Bring both hands up in the air. And then just allow your hands to drift down. Gather chi for the last time. And pull. focusing all the chi into the belly, and then release the hands and the chi flows down the legs. Gather and lift. Gently pull. Draw the chi deep into the belly. Then let the body relax. Let's do one more gather, and this time bring the hands onto the belly. Gentle, easy breathing. So the founder of Zhening Qigong, Dr. Pang Ming, he created this little capsule called the 8 phrases. And the 8 phrases is everything you need to know to kind of set yourself up for a Zhening Qigong session, but also everything you need to know about the functioning of the entirety of the universe. It's a pretty good claim, isn't it? It's his kind of theory. And that's in a standard kind of Chinese poemic form, which is 8 lines, 4 characters per line. There are 32 characters to sum up the entirety of the universe and everything you need to know about it. I think that's beautiful. And unfortunately, when you, because there are so many ideas encoded into each of the Chinese symbols, and especially when the symbols sit beside each other, they, change and take on deeper meaning. That when you have to translate it into English, it takes about a quarter of an hour. Not as precise and beautiful as the Chinese, but still, it helps us to understand. So I'm just going to sing it for you. 𝐤𝐤𝐤𝐿 心中啊。 Very sorry, people. I don't know why Zoom just dumps me out like that. Wow. So, I don't know how long I lost you there. I was a bit lost in my storytelling. Anyway, keep a steady state. We'll see where the story picks up. So I was thinking about this idea of kung kung dan dan, huang huang hu hu, letting yourself dissolve in the chi field. The importance of just allowing yourself to soften and relax. And I was thinking about the amount of stress that we place ourselves under, and how at this moment we try to let that go. And the reason for letting that go, we're modeling this idea of being calm, of being settled, of being relaxed. The idea is that when we practice, we all know the old phrase, practice makes perfect. When we practice bringing ourselves into this quiet space, it becomes easier for us to do that. We have a quiet space reference point. So the next time that you get into a car and you have somewhere to drive, you can just bring yourself into this quiet space. You know how it feels. The next time you're in a train journey, on a bus, don't just reach for your phone. Reach for this quiet space. In every moment, we can bring ourselves back into this state. Just see how your mind feels now. Take a little bit of an audit. Hopefully it seems quiet and relaxed. Hopefully your body feels spacious and open. Hopefully you feel connected into the chi field around you. So this is the chi state. A soft, relaxed, easy place to be. There's another feeling that sits behind this. Sometimes you can pick it up. It's a feeling like coming home. It's a feeling of safety and security. So when we allow ourselves to spin off on these journeys, when we allow ourselves to worry, my cataclysmic story about, not working, not earning, not eating, dying, I mean, that's a real terrible downward spiral I don't wish on anybody. But when we're in the conscious state and we're thinking about all of the things going on in our lives, and we're thinking about the things that can happen to us and the possible outcomes, and the fear starts to well up or the anger starts to come through, the worry starts to build, the sadness starts to fill us, then that is all part of our conscious process. You can allow yourself to delve into those ideas if you wish. You can let yourself be angry if you want to. It's a choice, though. And so when a trigger comes around and somebody upsets you, in that moment, you have a choice to be angry or not. You can think, oh, that bloody person, and off you go. Or you can think, okay, I'll just leave it. I'll just leave it for this time. And every time you choose not to follow that path of anger, that path of hatred, that path of fear, it's a little victory in your life. And so we create this island deep inside us, this island of calm, a place you can go to. What does your island of calm look like? Your favorite green spot with some shady trees. Perhaps you've got a nice piece of park that you like to go to, or somewhere in your garden that you sit. Perhaps you've got an idyllic space that you always find yourself in. It's nice to build a kind of trigger like that, somewhere you can find. If you just think to yourself, oh, I don't want to be in this argument with this person. I'm just going to let that comment pass. I'm just going to quietly find myself back in my centered space for a few moments. Think about a safe place. The safe place is in your body, and the safe place is in silence in your body. Sometimes we look at a meditation class filled with people and it looks incredibly peaceful. But the reality is, half of them have got thunderous stories going through their heads and conversations raging. And so we find this quiet place inside the body. It doesn't have to look calm, it has to be calm. Take a gentle breath in through your nose. And then sink deep down into your belly. Just stay deep inside. Imagine your safe place. Feel like coming home, coming back to your chi home deep in your belly, coming back to your chi bedroom where you can lounge comfortably inside your body. We just center ourselves. So whenever you have the opportunity to draw yourself back from the fire of daily life, whenever you have the chance to dodge an argument, to escape a fierce cycle, just draw yourself back inside. A huge amount of stress apparently has to do with our vagus nerve. I'm sure you know about the vagus nerve. Its connection from the heart up through the neck into the brain has a lot to do with the transmission of stress and tension, apparently. I don't know a great deal about the vagus nerve. But I do know one method for calming the vagus nerve, which I use quite regularly. Just a simple breath. And it's interesting because Dr. Pang doesn't teach much in the way of breath work. For him, he just allows the body to just do its own natural thing. But I think this is a nice tool. My first encounter with it was, a long time ago, with the microcosmic orbit in Chinese medicine. You've done it before, imagining breathing qi from between your legs all the way up your spine, right over the top of the head, to the top of the head by hui. And then when you breathe out, it plunges down the front of your body through your throat, through your chest, and back between your legs. And it's a simple circuit that comes up the spine and goes down the back. The deeper idea and deeper meaning to this orbit is that as you breathe in, you can draw the chi up your spine, connecting with your kidneys and drawing the chi all the way up to the top of the head. When you bring the chi down, you can connect with your heart, and then the chi flows back between your legs once more. So one of the key aspects is the kidneys and the heart beautifully balancing each other. They're like the mother and the father of your body. And so by engendering this very intentional breath up your spine and then down the front of the body, we connect these two organs together and we bring about balance, and they're sort of flowing the key aspects of chi around the whole of your body. It's like the main highway of chi, drawing it up your spine and bringing it down the front. So all of the other systems benefit as well. And when the heart and the kidneys are happy and they're in balance, then we have this real kind of harmony in the body. This is how we make our body feel safe. So I first encountered this, and it's quite a common idea in ancient Taoist work. And when you draw the chi up your spine, and the more you do it, the more you can draw your congenital chi up to connect with your brain. The idea is that deep inside your belly, the chi gathers, gets stronger and stronger as we stand, doing our standing posture like this. And then eventually we can generate this flow of congenital chi, draws up the spine to the brain. And when eventually you do that, it kind of illuminates your brain. It's like, what a strange image. I was just suddenly thinking of the old game at the fairground where there's a big hammer and you have to whack the hammer down on a pad and it sends a piece of wood up a thing all the way to the top. Ding! And the bell rings. You can test your strength by hitting this hammer and seeing how far you can shoot it up towards the bell. In the same way, we're kind of drawing the chi up our spines, and eventually when you become adept at it enough, it's like ding, the bell ringing at the top. Or we're talking about sort of moving towards enlightenment. It's a very powerful idea, but martial artists use it as well to build up their strength. It's a very sort of powerful technique, and you hear about it in yoga as well, kundalini, very commonplace word these days, but it's about raising the energy up your spine to your brain. So I'm not necessarily suggesting that we have to learn a full kundalini practice, but certainly drawing the chi up the spine to the brain is never a bad thing, and then down the front. And it may not be the full kind of power of a kundalini breath, but what we're doing is we're still circulating general chi around the body in a very healthy way. And so then I came across this wonderful book by a guy called 𝐬𝐥𝐿 Semple. And as a young man, he'd had a terrible accident. Not a terrible accident, he'd got a massive wooden splinter stuck in his foot. And they'd taken it out. He was at school, they'd withdrawn this splinter, but being a school, they hadn't really sort of, done the work very well. And he thinks that there was a little bit of wood left inside his foot. And this piece of wood was constantly touching an acupuncture point. And it put him out of balance. And he went from being a straight A student and a great musician to having all sorts of emotional problems and physical problems. And he suddenly couldn't play music anymore. He couldn't syncopate. His rhythm disappeared. And so he went from a very promising school career to crashing out, basically. Many years later, when he was in France, he was given the book about microcosmic orbit. And he started doing the breathing. He found that if he syncopated his breathing, that he started to change. And so he went through many months of just breath practice in a very powerful way. And eventually his body came back into balance. It's my story. But he suggested a 4/4 rhythm. And I think that's because he was a musician. He was a saxophone player. Breathing in for 4. Pausing at the top of the head by away for 4. 2, 3. Breathing out. And pausing at 𝐸𝐸 for 4. But I don't think that's exactly right. For me, I like the work of Heart Math. If you've ever come across the Heart Math Foundation, they've done a lot of work with this relaxation story. And they suggest it's 4 breaths in, or 4 beats in, let's say. 4 beats, pause, and then longer, 6, 7, 8 breaths out, and then 4 beats, pause. So why don't we try that? And it's quite difficult for me to breathe and talk at the same time, but we'll give it a go. So imagine qi gathering between your legs. Breathe in, imagine the qi flows up your spine. Pause for a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let your breath out slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in up the spine. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in out. Breathe out more slowly. 5, 6. Pause. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. Pause. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 3, 4. Pause. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 3, 4. Pause. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Allow your breath just to come back into a gentle, easy rhythm. It's the little pause at the bottom, little pause at the top. These just slow everything down in your body. Bring your body to this very still, quiet moment where everything stops. Even your heartbeat dramatically lowers. And so we do that each in breath, each out breath, pause and pause. And then this just gives a reset to the vagus nerve, a reset to the heart muscle. So now we have several tools. First of all, we have this quiet space to bring ourselves into. Then we have this idea, this lovely breath that you can draw from your tailbone up your spine, roll over the top of the head and plunge down the front of the body. And then we have the more powerful idea of the 4, 4, 4, 6 breath, which really brings the body back into focus. So what I'm hoping to suggest is that as your day goes by, perhaps you can find a way to one of these techniques. Perhaps the one technique leads to the second technique, which leads to the third technique. Perhaps it's the other way around. Perhaps you just think, oh, I'm feeling so stressed, I'm going to do the breath that Jeremy's taught. Breathe in for 4. Pause for 4. Breathe out for 6. Pause for 4. Breathe in. Pause. Breathe out. Pause. And so perhaps that just takes you and slows you down. Then you can start to think about the possibility of just allowing the breath to flow through. Take a gentle breath in up the spine. Take a gentle breath out and roll it down the front of the body. Breathe in and lift up. Breathe out and pour down. Whilst you do this gentle breath, perhaps you can then work your way into this soft space. Let yourself imagine yourself moving into a chi space, softening into a chi place. Find yourself back in your centered, happy place. So you can see how you can riff on these ideas. Do you want to bring yourself back into this comfortable, happy chi state place and then do some breathing? Perhaps your breathing naturally leads you back into this chi, happy space. Doesn't really matter. You have these little tools at your disposal to bring yourself back into this centered place. Just when you feel that you might be being led off into, I don't know, a stressful moment, an argument, a family feud, then what we need to do is to be able to call upon this idea and bring ourselves back, settle ourselves back. I just want to work a little bit with this orbit idea. Between the legs, or yin, this is a gathering point. So very often we say, lift Hoi Yin up, and it just kind of closes this area between the legs. Just holds the chi inside. If you imagine this chi ball that's from the belly, from the diaphragm downwards, all the way to the bottom of your trunk, as it were, this ball of chi. And so lifting Hoi Yin gently closes and holds the chi in this ball, lower dantian, of which the belly button is the center. And behind the belly button, lower dantian is actually the center. So we have this core inside us. We lift Hoi Yin up, and that gently closes the core. So just imagine chi flowing from the earth, drawing up the center of your legs. So in reality, it comes up the chi channels, but we just imagine our legs are hollow, that we can draw chi up the center of our legs. And this chi comes up to meet at Hoi Yin, and the chi draws up from Hoi Yin into the lower dantian. So Hoi Yin is this kind of gathering place. When we do our lift chi up and pour chi down, we end up with our hands in front of the belly button, with chi flowing from the fingers deep inside. Do chi, the belly button, becomes a gathering place. We move our hands around the back, and we point at the small of the back. The Ming Men Gate becomes a gathering place. So we have these little pools of chi where we can hold and gather the chi inside. Hoi Yin being one of them, between the legs. So imagine that Hoi Yin is filled with chi. Draw the chi up to 𝐬𝐿u, the tailbone, and then draw the chi up to the lower back. Imagine the chi can then go deep into your kidneys. So it sort of splits to the left and right, dives deep into our kidneys. And then it comes back to the spine. So we've kind of created a diamond shape on the lower back. The qi goes straight up the spine as well, but some of it diverts to your kidneys, to the left and right, and then back to the spine. There are little sets of acupuncture points all the way up the spine. And I think the qi interlaces between them. It goes crisscross, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, all the way up your spine, whilst we still have this central column of qi drawing up, all the way up to the nape of the neck, all the way up the brainstem, all the way up over the top of the head till it arrives at Bai Hui. So you have this beautiful lattice of qi moving up the spine, but also the central channel of qi, this intimate connection from Hui Yin up to the kidneys, and then drawing this energy all the way up to the brain. And that's just on your in-breath. On your out-breath, the journey comes over the top of the head, nose to your upper lip, and then it diverts inside to the back of your throat and goes down towards your heart. So what we do is we put our tongue just on the roof of the mouth, and that just shortcuts. So it comes from the upper lip to the bottom lip through the tip of the tongue, and it can go on down the center line of the body between the legs. That's one of its paths, is down this kind of superficial external path. But the other one goes deep inside to the root of the tongue. And as you know, possibly, the tongue muscle is connected into your heart muscle. And so when we draw qi down, we've moved this amazing kidney qi all the way up to the top of the head. We can pour this qi down through the throat, deep into the heart. And then the qi re-emerges and goes down to the belly button. And then it goes down between the legs. And we know the journey up the back. So now we can see this beautiful pathway linking our kidneys and linking our heart. The in-breath draws qi up the spine. The qi mounts over the top of the head to the Bai Hui point. The out-breath takes the qi down. Imagine it plunging deep into your heart and down between the legs. We breathe in and it gathers up the spine, splits out to connect to each kidney, comes back and carries all the way up to the Bai Hui, and over the top, down the front. So you may have your eyes closed to this moment, but we can do this breathing with an exercise called the great General Guangdong strokes his gray beard. It comes from an ancient Chinese story about a general who used to sit in front of his army, and he was apparently stroking his gray beard. But actually, the old fox was actually doing his microcosmic orbit before battle. And so as you stand, you just draw the hands up the front of the body. And as the hands come up, the breath comes up the back. The hands come up the front, the breath comes up the back. As the breath comes up to your neck, you draw the qi over the top of the head. And then you draw the qi down the front of the body. And the hands just relax. So your next in-breath, we're going to draw the hands up the front of the body, but we imagine the qi comes up the back as well. So breathe in, lift up. Catch the qi at the nape of your neck and take it over the top of the head. When you breathe out, draw the qi down. All the way to Hui Yin between your legs. Breathe in, lift up. Draw the qi over the back of the neck, over the top of the head. And pour down. When we breathe in, we're going to think about our kidneys, drawing kidney qi up the spine. Top of the head. Breathe out. Connect with the heart. Move the heart qi down the front of the body, between the legs. And when we draw it, the heart chi connects up to the kidneys. Kidney chi draws up and then connects down to the heart. Heart chi draws down, connects up to the kidneys. So this is like a great big chi hug. Just do general guang gong twice more. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, flow down. Feel your heart. Breathe in, lift up. And breathe out, flow down. And then just put the hands onto the belly. Gentle, easy breathing. So there are 4 takeaways from today's class. 1, find an easy to recall place where you can bring yourself back into a steady, calm mind. Find your safe home inside your body, your inner life. Remember that you can do this 4, 4, 6, 4 breath. Breathe up the spine. We pause at the top. Longer breath out down the front. Pause at the bottom. And how that just settles. Resets, I think, is a better word. Resets the vagus nerve. The third thing is our microcosmic breath. How we connect our kidneys. And how we connect our heart. And the fourth thing is a little guang-gong exercise where you can actually draw your hands up and imagine the chi flowing up the spine. Gather the chi over the top of the head, then plunge the chi down through your body. We can move the hands to kind of exaggerate, no, to accompany the microcosmic orbit. So it's time for us to close down now. It's always important to remember to close when you've been doing your exercises. We've been in a soft and relaxed place. So now what we need to do is bring ourselves back into this kind of time, this reality, this current state. But of course, when we come back into this state, we're still holding this still, calm place inside us. We still have this centered, settled feeling about us. And so by using these techniques, this is how we get through our day. We find ourselves in a stressed place, we move ourselves to an unstressed place. We do it again and again, and our life becomes much less stress, much more relaxation. And then we join these little islands of relaxation together, and the whole of life starts to become relaxation and not stress. Okay, so let's close out in the Zhineng Qigong fashion. So step on chi. If you know that instruction, it basically means heel toe to bring your feet together. Release your hands and bring them up into the prayer position in front of your heart. And then extend the hands up, past the third eye, up, crown of the head. Extend blue sky chi and feel your spine stretch and open. Let the hands drift down, let the knees soften. And then we open up little fingers and ring fingers and middle fingers and split the hands apart a great wide arc down to shoulder height, already gathering 2 lovely handfuls of chi and drawing them round to the front. Shoulder height and shoulder width. Indicate back to yin tang point on your forehead, sending chi through there deep inside your third eye. Illuminate inside the brain. Fill every brain cell with chi. Blood and chi flow well through your brain. Your brain is illuminated by chi. Every cell in your brain working well. The synapses firing. The neurons strong. The structure of the brain. Clarity. Working well. All functions of your brain are healthy. And then we drift the elbows back, draw the hands underneath the arms. We lightly touch Dabao. When we touch Dabao, we can send chi into the middle dantian and allow the chi to flow into our lungs, into our heart. So we've heard a lot about the heart today. Send lots of chi to your heart. On the left-hand side, you have the spleen and the pancreas. Right-hand side, you have the liver. Around the back, the kidneys. Again, send lots of love to your kidneys. Just imagine your heart and your kidneys harmoniously connected. The heart is gently warming the kidneys. The kidneys are gently cooling the heart, and everything is in perfect balance. When everything's in perfect balance, you feel safe. You feel that you are home inside your body. Now we drift the hands backwards, pointing the hands to the horizon behind. The back of the hands start to move towards the front of the body. Turn the palms over. Send a wave of chi out into the blue sky. Then gently gather this chi back. Gather some back for yourself. A beautiful ball of chi. We imagine this lovely ball in front of us. And now we're going to gather it and squeeze it into lower dantian. Take all this chi, deposit it deep in your belly. Lower dantian chi is abundant. Blood and chi flow well. An abundance of energy deep inside you. Imagine lower dantian, this ball of chi deep inside. Imagine you can draw the chi up your spine, all the way up into your brain, illuminate your neck, illuminate your shoulders. Allow this chi to pour down your arms to your fingertips. Illuminate the whole of your spine, your ribs, the upper torso with the lungs and heart, middle torso with your liver and spleen, pancreas, kidneys, lower torso with all the sexual organs, bowel, into the hips and the pelvis, into the tailbone, into the thighs, into the knees, into the calves, into the ankles, Achilles, feet, the whole back surface of your body. Everything is chi. Everything is chi. Blood and chi flow well. Then think about your Wei Qi layer. This lovely layer of chi around your skin. It's a barrier, a protection, a field of energy around your body. Wei Qi layer. It protects you. Then your chi body. It's like a bubble of chi around you. A meter in front, a meter behind, left, right, up, down. This lovely bubble of chi. And then we just think about ourselves. Imagine yourself in these fields of energy, a being of light, every cell in your body working well. You are healthy. All of the systems, perfect working order. Healthy, blood and chi flowing well, an abundance of energy, and all functions of your body are normal. Put a big smile on your face. Slowly open your eyes. Release your hands down by the sides. Let's have a little bit of a wiggle of the hands, have a bit of a wiggle of the toes. We can stretch out in whatever way you feel you wish to stretch. If you think you want to do any bending, and just be very judicious about coming back up, because that can be very dizzy making. So we come up nice and slowly and stretch out in any way your body wants. And so then we say Haola together. So if you wish to unmute yourself, you'd suddenly appear on my YouTube video. So maybe don't unmute yourself. I'll know you're saying Haola. You can put your camera on. Apparently that doesn't draw attention to you. It's only the audio that draws attention to you. So if you want to put your camera on, you can do that. And then we say Haola together. So Haola means good already. It's putting a stamp onto this work we've done. Everything we've done, it is now sorted. So we put our hands up in the air. 1, 2. Ha. La. 1, 2. Ha. La. 1, 2. Ha. La. Oh, really nice to see you today. So we have a little salute for each other. This is the 𝐬𝐤𝐥𝐼 style salute. Right hand comes up, left hand goes down. We pull the fingertips together. And then, really nice to have seen you today. Thank you very much. And as per usual, I'll put this onto YouTube in due course. And please pass it around to your friends. And don't forget to use these little tools. Please bear them in mind. Have them there. So if you're feeling stressed, you can suddenly just call up something to do and just to bring yourself back to yourself. Because the notion of stress is that we scatter, and it's called scattered chi. It's your energy scattered across the globe. Now, when we bring ourselves back, that's where the healing is found. Okay, lovely to see you. Have a lovely day. See you soon. Bye-bye, everyone.